Hi YouTube, Coinpicker here. Here are our thrift store finds for the past week and a bit. First of all, saw this in the cutlery aisle for $1.99. This will go to Coinpicker Jr. as he loves knives. Pretty interesting. Reminds me of those like Indonesian kris knives and swords. It's not marked, but looks like decent steel. And there's a brass hilt and guard, and this is leather. There was a little bit of paint on it, so I used some paint thinner to rub it off, most of it. So you can't go wrong for $1.99. And next, did get some silver. Found this bad boy at the sale again. Actually, both items. It says weighted silver, and this was $6.99. Presner sterling weighted, number 70. So I'm all right. Well, this is the weighted part, but this is solid. Well, yeah, pretty solid. This is solid silver, and this is solid silver on both sides. So my guesstimate is probably maybe 3.5 ounces of sterling once you rip out the weighted portion. Not bad. And I found this interesting thing right at the Salvation Army thrift store bookshelf. Looked like someone had picked it up, was hemming and hollering, wondering if they should buy it or not, and decided to leave it behind and just put it on the bookshelf. Good for me, because I noticed it and I picked it up. It looks like silver, feels like silver, but there's no markings. And it was only $2.99. So whoever left it there didn't want to gamble on $2.99. Really? But I looked up, I think I did a search on, was it antique silver cups, and threw in some other, words in the search. And I did find something similar. And you can see inside it's been hammered. There's some dimpling. So this is actually quite old. This is actually colonial Spanish silver from the Latin American country. Because, I just looked up like barrel-shaped silver cup or mug. That's the unique feature of that. And it said that usually they are not marked. Like no hallmarks. But you can't go wrong. $3. I believe it is probably from like the 1860s, maybe 1870s. Yeah, you can't. I mean, at first I thought, okay, is this silver plated pewter? But it didn't. Pewter doesn't have that twang sound. It sounds like a thud. And this is hard. Well, not hard, but it's like firm. Pewter is actually very soft. So yeah, I was happy about that. And this toning, it just looks like really old silver toning. And I did check it with a magnet. It was not magnetic. And look at this, like applied trimming, like on the bottom as well as here. And I think either is a repair or part of the manufacturing, but there's a seam, and I'll just do a close-up on this. Yeah, this is the seam. It looks like very crude, which totally, looks like some sort of colonial made item. Spanish colonial, that is. Now, doesn't that look like at least coin silver? Like 90%. And look at this Tony. Just looks pretty awesome. And I think there was some old test scratches like this. You see this? Like someone just, sort of tarnished over, so it must have been done a long time ago. So even someone else was wondering if it was silver. And also there's some more recent, right here, see that? More recent scratching on the inside. So maybe the person was wondering, is it like plated brass, like silver plated brass or something like that? But nope, pretty sure it's silver. But it is definitely an antique. Pretty cool. And this weighs about, last time I checked, it was like close to 4 ounces, 4 troy ounces. So I think it was like, it's 130 something grams. Very nice. And picked up a bag of cutlery, and it wasn't super expensive or anything. It was like $12.99. It's silver plate except one piece, but the silver plate is quite ornate. It does look antique, and probably going to resell this stuff. I think I could get some money back for this. There's some silver plate marks. It is Danish, so that helps. And I think it is considered like Art Nouveau, so very rounded, natural, no, what's it called, what they say? Naturalistic designs of the period. See that? Too bad it wasn't sterling. Oh, but I'm going to teach you guys something. I probably mentioned it a long time ago, but when it comes to Danish silver hallmarks, even the silver plated, they marked it. You see, that's called the 2 towers. When it's only 2 towers, that is silver plate. And then they have the maker's mark. I think it's like DFA. And P, probably the pattern mark. Because I know there was another one that says A or something like that. But I'll show you the silver one. Right, so this is the only piece of silver, pure, well, I wouldn't say pure, but it is Danish silver. Hear that? And this flexes pretty good. This one doesn't flex as good. And has these ornate engraving. Now look at the mark. This is the big difference on the mark. Very similar, but yeah, SPL, that doesn't mean silver plated. It means, I think it's like probably to do with the retailer. But look here. Whenever it's the 3 towers, see, 1, 2, 3, and underneath is 15, that means it is from 1915, because they started the marks, I think, like in 1825. So, and the design of the three towers would be slightly different. So the earliest one would have like the three towers and then a 25 underneath it. And then they kept on doing the similar thing and putting like 10, meaning 1910. In this case, 1915 with a 15. And I think it was soon after this, they went into like, like 925 stamping or some other standard marking system. But have a look. The tarnishing looks a little different. I mean, this looks like no tarnish at all. This one, it's a little bit black here. But look at this. The maker's mark. And I don't know what that mark is below it. Pretty cool. But this weighs about 37 grams. So with that three towers mark, I believe that means the minimum silver standard, it has to be like, I think it's like 82.5% pure or 82.8, I don't know, something, one or the other. So when I calculated out, this is basically an ounce of pure silver. So in Canada, that's basically like 20 bucks. So I paid up for it. I mean, just for that one spoon, but $12.99 plus tax, probably like 13 and change. So I got a little bit under silver value for the whole bag. So still, it's worth it. Again, these ones definitely old, probably of the similar vintage. And I think there's like two different sets of patterns. So these ones actually have names engraved on it. All right, this one says Karen, I think Karen. Very ornate. And the back. Again, the two towers. But the maker here is DF. Oh, it's still DFA, but a little bit different looking. And let's see. This one. AAK. So probably Aaron something. And this, what's this say? KMK. See, I think these ones are brass because it looks like the brass is showing through the engraved sections. And then this one is not inscribed. And this one of a different pattern has the name. Catherine. So these people must have, the original owners of these must have some money because it would not be cheap to hire someone to engrave these like fancy scroll work. Check out this knife. This is probably like for eating fish. See, the handle is sort of like perpendicular to the blade. It's pretty cool. And then here's some miscellaneous ones. There's only two pieces of each of these two other patterns. Nothing so fancy with these ones. So I don't know, as partial sets, antique. I don't know. Maybe I can sell these for 20 bucks. But the keeper is this one, the actual silver spoon. I really like the markings, the hallmarks. So I think maybe I could get more for these. I mean, they are Danish, so that's like somewhat very collectible. And the last thing to show you guys is during World War II, I think when it came to, I guess, well, Canada and the US, I mean Canada, German POWs, or like captured soldiers, or even German Canadians or Canadians of German descent that had certain political views, like if they supported or sympathized with the Third Reich, they were actually shipped to the rural part. I think one of the places were the rural part of Alberta, our next province over, to a place. One of the places was called Kananaskis. Looked it up. I found this box for $1.99 at the Salvation Army, and this is what I would call POW or internment camp craft, or there was another name for it. Forgot it. It's right off the tip of my tongue, but like some people, like during the war, they would like get used or spent brass shells, and they would turn it into art. Oh yes, it's called trench art. That's what my buddy told me. I guess this would be under that category, trench art, where the people are basically in jail or in a prison camp, and they have lots of time on their hands. Maybe they make a little bit of arts and crafts and sell to the guards for cigarette money or treats. But this is interesting. So in the US and Canada, they had POW internment camps for Japanese, because they were at war with Japan, Germans, and Italians. Also, they were at war during World War II. So this is the camp. This is hard to say. Kananaskis, 1942. So right in the middle of the war. So this is a place near Alberta, like in Alberta, the province of Alberta, near this, I think it's called Shield Mountain or Barrier Mountain. So it's carved, and it shows the camps, I guess like barracks. Like I can't see on here, but I think there's like another building, 1, 2, 3, 4, main building, and that's the guard tower. And we have just some mountain ranges, also a guard tower there. And a similar view on the side. And most likely made by a German Canadian or a German soldier. And I would believe it's from 1942. I mean, going by the patina, right? And Germans are quite famous for woodwork. So if you look at the box, the quality is actually pretty good. See? And it's being lacquered. I think it's pine. Look at the jointing. It's like pretty good. It's not like slapped together cheaply. And I don't think they were allowed nails or hammers, so it looks like, well, I guess they needed something to carve. Maybe they gave them one nail to like scratch out the design. Hard to say. But it looks like everything was glued together. Very interesting. Very historical, I must add. So tell me what you guys think about this. Not the usual thing I pick up from the thrift store, but I just thought it is very interesting, very historical. Anyways, that's all I have to show you guys for the week in a bit. So, nice silver spoon. Some nice antique silver, Danish silver Art Nouveau cutlery to resell. Get, recoup some money and maybe a little bit profit from it. And oh, this one too. I know this is plated. It's like a tea caddy spoon, I think they call it, or maybe just a serving spoon. The design looks Danish, but there's a marking here. I could not find it online. If anyone recognizes this marking, please let me know. That's the only marking on that spoon. But looking at this, it sort of reminds me of a bottle cap opener, or bottle opener. But yeah, here it is. Oh, I should toss this one back over here. Neat knife. Very antique silver cup. And silver candelabra. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Coinpicker out.